think, with some of our legends, Steve Mossop, North McConnell, Derek Hadley, and Andy Whittle as well. It was a fantastic couple of hours in there, listening to their stories. So massive thank you to our legends for taking the time to kind of share their tales with us, and a massive thank you as well to all those people who got tickets. It was a really great event.
You ready to go on, Jay?
I am. Born ready.
Warm welcome to Craven Park. The championship opener has finally arrived. It's Barrow versus the championship new boys Hunslet in a game deemed by many as a bit of a relegation cup final, although it's only week one. Over the next 2 hours we will have live and uninterrupted coverage here from Craven Park. Will Barrow go potentially joint top of the league after the first game of the season? I'm delighted to announce that they've had a long time this afternoon. My usual comrade, Mr. Graham Dale. How's it going, Jake?
Good. I'm glad the sun's out for once. It's still freezing cold though. Looking forward to a good afternoon.
It should be a good afternoon as well. And we have to say 150 years this year that Raiders are celebrating their existence. And that number comes into fruition a little bit more, does it, Graham?
It does. There's a certain fullback that I think might well be on his 150th game for the Raiders.
The Swedish Seabelt?
He could well be, yes.
Is it Walney, your team? Is it Roos? I can't remember which one it is.
Well, there are several really good clubs around the area, but the affinity for Luke is Barrow Island.
Barrow Island, there it is.
It is close to my heart,
What
as
did
you
we
know.
reach?
I know you don't mention it very often.
23 seconds we reached this week before Graham drops the Barrow Island bomb. Well, we'll take a look at some team news shortly, and then 10 minutes to go until kick-off, and obviously there's a few pretty big absentees this week. The first two that jumped right off the team sheet. No place for Ryan Johnston through injury, and Ramon Silva could potentially be out for up to 6 weeks with a fracture in his hand that he occurred against that Oldham game. I know it was a brutal result, but it was also brutal to the men on the field. Got some major absences, and it seems the normal now, Graham, that Barrow start a championship campaign with a bare-bone squad.
I don't know whether it's luck or what, but you know, the Raiders, I mean, I'm sure they'll look at it. Paul said in his interview that he's got a strong squad, a strong 17, you know, and they'll be looking for they're reliant on, and you know, that builds their platform. Every week, I think they'll have no problems whatsoever.
So in terms of standings, then, what do you think they're going to be? I'll tell you what, how many points do you think they're going to get this year?
Oh, that one's a piece of string. If I was going to say, well, put it like this, worst outcome is they just avoid relegation. Best outcome is, I think if they were fourth, something like that, fourth or fifth, I think they'd absolutely be on top, you know, and really tough. When I read the players that they've signed this year, or the squad they've got this year, and they've lost Ellis Gill, fair enough, because he's a massive player of this squad, but the likes of Ryan Brown, and fair enough, he's injured, he's got a broken hand, but you know, the captain has, they've got that about them, and they can lead this team through to negotiate this championship. You know what I mean? And I think, like you say, they got Jamie Pye. You know, he's a lad, isn't he? You know, so it's not like they haven't got players that can go forward. Some that Tommy Bishop, not Tommy, that's his dad, Alex Bishop, sorry. Somebody that Alex can play behind. I believe he played hooker last week, and somebody was talking to me in the week that said, you know, I played hooker, you know, well, a half-back, it's in your DNA. You can probably play all three. You know, you can maybe not stand off, because that's more, nowadays, that's more specialised, but 7 or 9, you know, you're just doing your job from close to the ruck, you know, and I'm sure, I have been told I've not seen him play, but I'm looking forward to seeing him play because he sounds nuggety, aggressive, you know, and that's what they're going to need, you know, somebody that can break up the middle a little bit, you know, break them on the edge, just by squaring up the defence.
Well, we are just moments away from kick-off live at Craven Park on BBC Radio Korea, on the app and on the website. Stream today, of course, as well. It's all going on. Where will Raiders finish in this 2025 campaign? It is already out for the club, already calling for a change of coach after one game in the Challenge Cup against Oldham. Bizarre, absolutely bizarre. But we've got a long way to go. It is week 1. Optimism is high, the squad is kind of fresh, and the referee hasn't upset anybody yet. Hunslet have come to spoil the party. Barrow just need to find the invite. Barrow Raiders led by their captain Jared Jack up to the field then for the championship opener here at Craven Park. Barrow with a point to prove, and ideally 2 more to go with it. Will there be an upset on the cards? Have Hunslet come here to spoil the Raiders back? We will soon see. Raiders then starting with the fullback Luke Cresswell, Andy Coleman and Manny Costello on one side, Curtis Tier and Luke Broadbent on the Brad Walker and Alex Bishop starting in that offensive half with Tom Walker, Josh Wood, Blaine Gitton, Ellis Brockton, Jared Stack and Ryan King. Interchanges for the Raiders: Tom Wilkinson, Ryan Brown, Shane Toll and Jamie Pye. Seth Woodend is today's 18th man. As for the visiting team, Hunslet on their first championship fixture in a few years after their promotion from League One. Jimmy Watson starts at fullback, Mackenzie Turner, Booth, Billy Jowett and Greg Eden. Lachlan Hannigan and Matty Beherrell, Kevin Leroyer, Ross Whitmore, Zach Fiswick, Ethan Wood, Liam Wellen and Jordan Syme. Interchanges for Hunslet: Harvey Hallis, Kobe Ruthless, Ethan O'Hanlon and Sam Webb Campbell. Harrison Gilmore will be Hunslet's 18th man this afternoon. We are still waiting for this Hunslet team to come out onto the pitch. They are keeping this Raiders team and this crowd hanging on with anticipation. Raiders 5 victories in their last 6 against this Hunslet team, looking for a little bit of a redemption following on that 40 points to 10 defeat last week in the Challenge. 42 points to 4 defeat against Oldham in the Challenge Cup. Last time out against Hunslet, it was Barrow that came out on top by 40 points to 10. The Raiders team are on the pitch ready to go, and we are still awaiting the Hunslet team. Do you think that's an early tactic, Graham?
Well, I think there might be a little bit of mind games going on there. I'm not sure who's kicking off. I don't know whose kick-off it is, but if it was Barrow's kick-off, I'd have that ball stood ready to go, and the instant they're all in place, kick the ball off, get them playing as good as they can.
I was just looking down there, we said earlier on, in case you missed it, Josh Wood against the physio and doctor says he will play, even with a slight, I think it's a 2 centimetre tear in his hamstring. He just went straight over to the sideline there, and I got a little bit concerned. He was coming off before the kick had even been, well, a ball had even been kicked. He was just getting a cup of water though. So it is going to be Hunslet kicking off from left to right as we look at it from our commentary position, playing in their usual green shirt with the orange and white V across the chest. Raiders in their 150th year celebration kit, the Dennis the Menace top, as I like to call it, with the red and black stripes, black shorts, and of course the black and red socks. Hunslet then get that ball deep on kick-off here. The championship opener has arrived. It bobbles around there, eventually collected by Alex Bishop, who takes his first drive in Raiders colours on the hallowed Craven Park turf. As Barrow now then coming up towards this left-hand edge, looking for a vast improvement, speaking midweek with head coach Paul Crary. A lot of players not doing the job they were told to do, so there's some few players he told me to keep an eye on and see if they can see the difference this week from last week. Gittins Bedwood now then takes Raiders up towards the halfway line, and it's impressed you in a few games, Graham.
Sorry?
Delane Gittins Bedwood, has he impressed you from what you've seen of him?
Yeah, he certainly looks the part, you know what I mean? He looks strong and athletic, you know, and with a bit of luck, you can get him on the ball. They've got to get him on the ball and like you say, do their job that they have to do, and that's punch holes in this defence.
High bomb put up there on the last by the Raiders, collected on the 20 by Hunslet, League One playoff winners of last season, back in the Championship.
You see, the thing is with the side, this Hunslet side, I hope they don't prove me wrong, but they don't have that firepower out in the edges that like your Battlers and your Sheffields and Co, you know, and Halifax and that. They have big experienced runners, and that's very dangerous, you know. So this you know, it's a very even contest today, and I'm sure it'll be a tight game.
To start this set off. Pushing up towards the 40 now, and 2 minutes into this game. From that link for the first time this afternoon. The Raiders incorrect play of the ball.
Oh, frustration early on. So they've given away field position. So we'll see what Hunslet can do with it.
30-metre mark. Spinning this ball up towards the right hand side. Snap as Josh Wood came in. The referee is now blowing his whistle. Speaking to his touch judge in his earpiece.
I think he'd hit him slightly late, but it was 50-50 to me.
Opted for the 2-pointer. Just shy of the 30-metre mark here. 3 minutes on the clock. Potentially take an early lead here. Trusty boot. But the Herald's been many of clubs, a journeyman the last few years. Guess Graham, how many teams has been?
6.
6.
Don't ask me to name them, not without looking at notes worth.
So he lines this one up then. Raiders players just hobbling slightly towards him, trying to put him off, doing the best they can. But Herald's put this one up high. It's gone left. It's gone wide. Uncharacteristic error from Manny Beherald. The score remains 0-0 here. Raiders are going to restart. That's an opportunity, Graham, that might come back to bite them later.
Yeah, well, you know, it is. I was quite surprised, you know, that they went for the 2-point option so early in the game. You know, I would have thought they'd gone for a bit of territory to establish a little bit of authority in the game, you know what I mean? But still.
So from the resulting dropout then, it's going to be Hunslet that picked that ball up. Dragged backwards towards their own 40. And won the penalty on the first tackle. They think he's lost the ball there. Loose carry from Hunslet. And we've got it coming together already here. In the opening 5 minutes at Craven Park, tempers are rising. We said it had that little bit of a cup final feel for the two teams that are expected to be dragging at the bottom of the championship. Like a bit of feistiness.
Yeah, it was there. I think it was Andrew Bullman there that he just gave. Well, he didn't do anything wrong, but the Hunslet player took exception to being tackled. I think, to be honest, it was just a good, honest, hard, swift tackle, and that's been good so far from the Raiders. They've been on the front foot in the defensive department. It's an area they can look to dominate, hopefully, this afternoon. That's what I'd like to see. I'm sure that's what their intention is.
So Raiders now then, 40 away, looking for the first points of the afternoon. darting. Almost 10 metres gained in that carry. The Raiders now taking it out to Ryan King towards this left-hand side. He's dropped 25 or so metres in the centre of the field as Walker straight up, bursting towards that 10-metre mark there. Great running from the Raiders forward. It's now Josh Wood. Flies that one over to right corner. Raiders cutting it back in towards the middle. On the last tackle, just a few metres to go. Will it be first blood to the Raiders? Big, strong run from Gittin, but he can't quite get back on the strong.
It is, and that's a great defence, backed up there by the Raiders. Bodies in the tackle and shoved him back over his line. That's the sort of combination in defence that we like to see.
Drop out then for the newly promoted Hunslet team. Still scoreless here though. Expected to be a tightly contested affair. Massive reshuffle needed already from the Raiders. Battered and bruised for this opening matchup. Big tackle there as well made by Billy Jowett. Almost picking up possession as Costello was onto that ball.
He did well there, Costello.
He did. Couldn't really see the guy coming in from behind, could he? And he's done well to take possession under pressure. Raiders now then with Bedward play that ball over to the captain Jared Stack in his 21st season, it seems. Raiders now then 10 metres out, getting that ball out towards the left. It's been intercepted and Hunslet away here. There's support on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. Have Raiders got the legs to catch Billy? Let's know a move. It doesn't look like they're going to. Effort from Bullman and Bishop wasn't enough. And it's going to be a 90-metre intercepted try for the visitors. 8 minutes into this one. It's now Raiders 0, Hunslet 4. Right place, right time there, Graham.
Well, yeah, it's one of them things, you know, it comes off. I mean, as an half-back, you know, you try these passes and unfortunately sometimes somebody's just read what the play was going to be. It's unfortunate. It's not going to harm them at this time in the game. They've still got time to recover and get on the short score sheet themselves. He finished it well, the lad. He went the full length of the field.
Yeah, Noah Booth, there was no catching him. The Hunslet centre just picked up that ball just off the Raiders 10 and went all the way downfields underneath the sticks. Raiders were trying to chase him down like a pack of wolves, just couldn't quite reach him. Barrow 0, Hunslet 4. This should be a simple conversion now for Matty Beherrell. Right in front of the sticks. And it is just that. It's another 2 on the board. It's now Raiders 0, Hunslet 6. Try from Noah Booth. And already 70 minutes to go. The comeback is on.
I'm sure there's no reason to panic. They just got to go and you know, it's going to be a tight game and just keep playing out their sets. And that's the sort of situation, once you've given an interception away like that, if there's a player in the opposing side that likes to look out for interception, you know, regular, you know, you can, somebody in the Raiders just got to keep an eye on him and watch him. And if he is setting up to try and intercept quite regular, use that to their advantage.
Hunslet now then back in possession off the 30. Big tackle, big hit from Bishop to start the set off as Hunslet now going straight through the middle, all the way up towards the halfway. 10 minutes played here at Craven Park, live on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports via the app and the BBC website. Raiders 0, Hunslet 6. Hunslet now going towards this left edge and they're trying to create a little bit of an overlap for themselves. Now with Jimmy Watson has eventually taken the tackle. It's fifth and last, 30 metres out. Raiders now then, with that tear in his thigh still. Playing on through the 10-minute mark, Raiders looking to try and get an offload away on the halfway mark. Can't quite find the space. So the tackle has been completed on Walker. Another good 10-metre burst that time down the right-hand edge. It's now last tackle, fifth and last for the Raiders. 40 metres out, slowly, it's very slowly back up to his feet there. I think it appears to be Jared Stack. Kick towards the corner now, Raiders get a bit of a break. He's not looking 100% at the moment, Will Graham.
Aye, so he's had a belt on the hooter, which is the nose. Just in case anybody's wondering. It's not TV, you see.
Tom Wilkinson down there warming up. Could play a very important part of this team today, because he was saying it looks like he could be slotted in at the number 9 position to give Josh Wood a rest. If he needs a rest or if he comes off completely. Be interesting to see him go down off the 9 before, isn't it? In his junior days.
Well, I'm sure he'll do a job. When you look at the players they have signed, you know, apart from Curtis Tier, you know, they are to bolster the pack. So that pack is able to rotate, especially in times when they need it to rotate because of lack of player availability.
Hunslet now then on that 20-metre mark. Going through the motions, setting up some shape on that left side before the tackle is completed. On the 30, back in towards the middle now then. Hunslet still leading this game by 6 points to 0. Massive tackle that time, but he's managed to shrug away the attempts of Ellis Robson and Delane Gittins Bedward. It's now last tackle. Hunslet still inside their own half. Crossfield kick goes right down the throat of Bullman, who's picked that one up just off his 20. Hop, skip and a jump for the Raiders winger. Already on 2 tries this season. Consolation try last week in that Challenge Cup defeat to Oldham. The only score of the game for the Raiders. As now Barrow find themselves up towards the halfway. Josh Wood attacking the line, shrugs off one. Tackle round the ankles though. Still trying to get up and play that ball. Raiders looking for a 6 again, not given. 40 metres out now. Josh Wood gets that ball out to Ryan King, the man brought in from Whitehaven. And his ball's been ripped out there, has it?
That's a penalty.
It has been ripped out, 30 metres out.
I was just going to say, they really need to go with him as well. He took that ball there, and on another run, you know, he could have had an arm free to offload it into open space up the middle. I'm sure that's what I think Luke Cresswell patrols up that middle for the support. Yeah, he's there now.
The Raiders setting up shape on both sides now, then massive run there. Setting up the Raiders nicely. 10 metres out from the Hunslet line. As Wood opts to go towards Ryan King. Ryan King shrugs off 1, 2, nearly 3 Hunslet defenders. He's dropped inches shy of that Hunslet line. Referee's got a good look as Barrow now going towards that right corner, trying to find a space in the corner. They found the space and they cut through like a hot knife through butter, and it's the first championship try of the season. Almost levels the score up here. It's Raiders 4, Hunslet 6.
Yeah, great work there by Tom Walker. Not Tom Walker, sorry. Brad Walker, obviously, yeah. Brad there, he took that ball, he got the ball, he was moving from left to right, and he had Jared Stack come with a great line for him, and that just took the players away and just give him half a yard, which he managed to throw a dummy, drop his shoulder and go through for the Raiders' first points.
First championship points of the season come in the form of Brad Walker, his second competitively of the season. The Raiders stand off. 15 minutes on the board brings Barrow right back into this one. He's now going to attempt to convert his own try. And it's these sort of positions where I'm taking nothing away from Brad that they will miss the experience.
I was just thinking the same thing. No disrespect to any other player out there that's kicking, but Ryan's just so dependable.
Big part is Ryan's job. Brad Walker then has a go from that far right side, and it's drifted just wide right. He went for almost like a toe punt effect there from Walker, but it wasn't meant to be. So the scoreline remains here at Craven Park. Barrow Raiders 4, Hunslet 6.
Yeah, if you're looking at on a weekly average, if you're looking at 3 tries and 3 converted, you know, that's equivalent to a try conversion every game. You know what I mean? Which you know you're going to get with a tried and trusted goal kicker.
He was responsible for a fair few of the match-winning points last season. Was Ryan Shaw with that dependable boot of his? As kick-off then goes deep towards Tom Walker. Good drive that time. The ball comes out to Dullington's Bedward. Raiders still trying to find a way as they attack this Hunslet defence, edging ever closer towards the halfway mark now. Then with Ryan King, who's looking to step up after last week, setting up some shape with Jared Stack on that right side. He can't quite find a way through just yet. The 2 minutes to break just inside the Hunslet half. There's the ball now. Finds Bedward. Raiders 5th and last, 40 out. Going down the short side. Walker bobbles that one along the floor and it's been knocked on. Great kick. Something that you call for as well, Graham. Keep the kicks low.
Yeah.
Bobble them around.
Yeah,
that's why.
Down on the ground in front of him. That's what they did there, and he just took his eye off the ball for that split second. So this is going to be Raiders in good ball, and I do believe if they get it right, they can score another try.
Looks like we're going to see another re-debut of Ryan Brown, the man that was here last year on loan from Wigan, signed for Lee, and Lee have let him go back out on loan potentially for the season here at Barrow to get some minutes under his belt. Scrum down then. Bishop gets that ball out the back to Cresswell. Cresswell doesn't have enough support. He did have Broadbent on his left-hand shoulder, but he also had 300 defenders in front of him. So play continues then. Big run there from the second rower. Ellis Robson, signed in from Keighley this season, as Raiders now within 10. Sweeping that ball fast towards the right-hand side. Jared Stack trying desperately to get an offload away. He does at the very last second. No advantage really come from that though, as the ball now is spread towards the right side, and Bullman takes the tackle. Raiders, as you were, still just inside that 10-metre mark. Taking that ball out towards the right side. Jared Stack once again. Raiders still hovering around a 10. Got a few tackles to go in this set. A try here will give them a lead for the first time this afternoon. As Brad Walker now finds another pass to his namesake, Tom Walker. His last tackle. Raiders 5 metres out. Is that 6 again almost? No, it's waved off, and Walker looking for his second in the game under the sticks, and he's got him in again. It's a fantastic step from the Raiders standoff, and it's 2 as you like for Brad Walker. Well, that means 20 minutes on the board, Raiders take the lead. It's now Barrow 8, 106.
Well, Josh Wood nearly went, didn't he? Passed it to Brad Walker, and Brad Walker could see the opportunity because the Hunslet defence had spread on that left side, so because they were expecting them to go wide or the kick out wide, so they got out with extra cover, and there was space there for it, and he took it. It's good to see him hunting and going forward. Great stuff. Well played, Brad Walker.
I'd expect Brad to convert this one as well shortly.
Just before he kicks this, Dan, you know, I've got a little stat for you.
Yeah.
Frank Botica, you may or may not know that name, but he played for Wigan. He's a New Zealand warrior.
Yeah.
Played for Wigan in the 80s. And they reckoned season on season, his goal kicking for penalties and tries was worth 2 tries a game.
There you go.
See, I forget everything, but not quite everything. Useless information I keep hold of.
That man. Successful conversion then from Brad Walker. It's another 2 on the board. The scoreline here reads Brad Walker 10, Hunslet 6. Quarter of the game played. Raiders take the lead. Can they hold on to this lead?
Now, after momentum, Hunslet now have lost that momentum. The Raiders' job now for the next 20 minutes to half time is to make sure they complete sets, get the ball as far away from their own line as they can, and put pressure on Hunslet. And if they can do that, I'm sure they might get tries off the back of that.
Raiders now then back in possession on their own 20. Good strong run in that time. As Ryan Brown comes onto the field, replacing Delane Gittins Bedward. I'm not too sure if there was another change made there as well. I think. Try to look towards the bench. No, I think that was the only change. I always seem to miss these these interchanges. Raiders now then almost breaking through. Strong run that time from Ryan King. Raiders now on towards on the right edge. Almost a quick tip of the fingertips. Quick tipping the fingertips. Bottom. Get the words out, Daniel. Almost brought through on the right hand side.
First are here in our competition stadium in Barrow Raiders 10.
They were trying to work out after that defeat last week. Was the shape over on the edges? He needs his outside backs to be closer, just rather than being sat out the back. They want him almost in line. You can see that line there. It was just unfortunately ball control wasn't there that time.
That's so they can create the push they call it. So if somebody gets their head through, you know the support's there instantly.
So then tackle just inside the Raiders half. Probably their best field position in, well, since they scored really. Raiders have been dominating since Hunslet went over in the 9th minute of the game. Almost breaking through that time though was Liam Wellham. He's dropped 30 metres out from the Raiders line. Getting that ball across now. Harvey Hallis. 5th and last tackle then. Hunslet. We've got players on each side here. There's Ross Whitmore fires that one over to the left, and the Herald puts that one up high and towards the skies. Taken well from Bullman, who shrugs 1-2, almost gets away there. He's done well. Big, strong winner, isn't he, Andy Bullman?
Yeah, he's a good winger. He's a good winger.
So Raiders then.
Nice to see him amongst the tries as well, hopefully.
Yeah.
This year as we go forward.
2 so far for Andy Bullman this season. I'm sure we'll see double figures.
I think we're going to see a lot from that young man, Luke Broadbent, this year. He's spoke to him during the week, and he's pumped up, looking forward to it. He was on about how they've had a really good season, off-season, up the sand dunes and everything, got really fit.
Great break here from the Raiders, still cutting through once more. They've got options, they've got more options. The ball comes across. Can they pick up the option? Yes, just. It's going to be a little bit slowed down now though, and the ball has then been lost by Curtis Tier. They did so well to shift that ball up to him. He was just trying to see if he could find just one extra pass, cutting the ball back inside the middles. Couldn't find it. Ball's been ripped. And now Raiders penalised. They're laying in on a tackle, and just like that, from being moments away from securing their 3rd try, they're now going to probably give possession up towards the halfway.
Do you know what, Dan? I'm sitting on the fence, but I am going to say that there in both teams, what we've just seen, is the reason why, if any, they're not got very good stats to stay up and things like that, because opportunities come. Barrow have 4 or 5 opportunities and score 1 or 2, maybe, you know, whereas they've got to get that number up. Whereas Hunslet, they've had, well, I don't think they've created that many chances at all, other than the exception.
So Raiders back on defensive duties as Hunslet make the way inside the Raiders half. Wellham almost lost possession there as he was trying to play that ball quickly. Hunslet now, 40 out, 16 minutes to go until half time. It's Raiders 10. It's Hunslet 6. The ball has been juggled around there by Hannigan. He just managed to take possession before the tackle was completed by Alex Bishop as Jordan Syme now weighing up his options, gets that ball out towards the left-hand side. The ball's been stolen. Ryan King got the legs. I don't think anybody expects him to show the legs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he doesn't care.
Great stuff.
Legs?
Nice work.
What legs? Have that, he says. Ryan King goes over for his 2nd of the season, extending the Raiders scoreline here.
Fantastic.
Barrow may have needed a miracle, and they got just that there. It's now Raiders 14, Hunslet 6.
Now I am sure that is the reason Cresta brought him here from Whitehaven, because he terrorised Barrow, didn't he? He used to run over the top of the air, and what he's done there, he's cut the Hunslet player in 2, ripped the ball off him, gone the length of the field, shrugged off the defenders. Everybody's happy.
That try was so good, even the opposition might applaud that one, Graham.
Yeah, well.
Fair play, Ryan King there. Everybody, I think, was waiting for the offload from the Raiders loose forward.
to be fair, when he kind of broke free, I was expecting him to pass the ball to Andrew Bullman. He'd got alongside him and he would have definitely finished it. That was my line that was coming up. But no, he managed to open his legs and go. He's got his hands on his head now. What do you think he's doing? breathing a breath of air.
Breathe it in, Ryan, breathe it in.
Get it in, because you're going again in 5 minutes. Is that Tom Walker coming off?
Just enough speed, but plenty of power for Ryan King. Almost 50 metres, just shrugging him off like 10 pinballs as he went in the corner. Raiders 14, Hunslet 6, yeah, Tom Walker now.
Again, Tom Walker, he must perform at 90% plus every week. You know, it's good to have players like that in your squad, Dan, that you know what you're going to get every week. You know, and you don't miss people like Tom till they're not there. Tackles, drives forward, you know what I mean? It's just, it's hard over the years, you know. Paul Aforn, if you're listening, he was like that. Unbelievable, every week, week in, week out.
Kick off down the middle then. Raiders looking to make a statement here this afternoon. So far, so good. Shaky start. Took him 10 minutes to get going. Brad Walker at the double, 2 in 5 minutes for him. And now, spoke too soon. Raiders have lost possession in the tackle, 30 out from their own line.
We did say after that last, not the try they just scored, the one before that, what they need to do in the next 20 minutes, which was, because we were right on 20 minutes at the time, second half of the first half, was to complete. And what have they done? They've turned 2 sets over, one after the other. That's going to give this Hunslet side a glimmer of hope. And if they can sort of embellish on that and score and get something out of it, it'll bring them back into the game.
Hunslet now then. 1 on 3. Over on this far right-hand side, nowhere for them to go. Stopped almost 20 metres out from that Raiders line. Good run that time from Ethan O'Hanlon. Gets Hunslet in 20 now. 12 minutes to go until the half-time hooter. Still Raiders leading this one by 14 points to 6. As Pye that time came flying out the line. Didn't quite make a full connection. Hunslet eventually tackled 10 out though. Setting up some numbers on that far right-hand side. Jimmy Watson can't quite cut through on that left-hand corner. So play is thrown all the way back to Beherald then on his 10-metre mark. Finds a runner, but the force backwards now, almost back up towards the 15-metre. On the last tackle, 2 of the Hunslet attackers went into each other there, trying to set up in position. Paddy Beherald was trying to find the pass. They knocked each other out.
Yeah, they've done that a couple of times on that left edge, just not quite organised properly, just not quite got the timings right. Like you say, it is early in the season.
Ball was caught almost around the thighs there for Broadbent. He's done well to handle that one and keep possession. Raiders still inside their own 20 as well. I need to be careful here because the Hunter defence are getting right up in the faces. This time it's Curtis Tier. He's dropped just shy of 20-metre mark as Luke Cresswell now then is in his acting halfback. Just trying to see as Josh Wood come off. No, Josh Wood is still on the field. Keep an eye on him. He's done well to. No, it's 30 minutes played now. Graham with a tear in his hamstring. It must be painful. It must be.
Well, he's not showing any signs of it, if it is, which is credit to him.
So it's going to be a kick from Bishop. Looking for a 40-20 attempt here. Has it got the legs? Oh, just shy of that 20-metre mark. It was a good attempt from the Raiders standoff this afternoon.
Yeah, it may well have not gone, but what it does is it means that they start Hunslet with running a structured defence rather than a broken defence on the normal 5th and last kick. So that's the reward if they get it into touch.
I think what's that 40-20 attempt? So I've got my lines mixed up. I'm not used to all these red and white ones.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, it was.
Either way, it didn't pay off. But it does set them in good stead. Field position wise, as Hunslet now then get that possession back. 10 minutes to go until half time here. It's Raiders 14, Hunslet 6. Live commentary coming to you from BBC Radio Cumbria via the app and website, of course. We'll take another look as well at some of the other games this afternoon shortly, as Hunslet are almost breaking down the right-hand side here. Bishop's just trying to get free to get into his marking position. It's a little dink kick over the top from Hannigan. Cresswell read it well.
As ever.
As ever.
He's had 150 games to get that right, you know. I think he's done all right, hasn't he?
He doesn't too bad, has he? As Raiders now then. On their own 30, that man we've just been talking about, Cresswell, almost breaking through. Looking for his first competitive try of the season, as Josh Wood now does come off. So Tom Wilkinson then will go on and play as 9 this afternoon.
Don't be surprised, Dan, by the way, if we see a shuffle.
Ball's come loose there. It's collected by the Raiders on their own 40, but it is fifth and last. Ball comes out to Cresswell. Cresswell's got nowhere to go. Oh, he has got somewhere to go. He's got plenty of space there as Cresswell. Has he got support on his right hand side from Ballman? Ballman's going to head towards the corner. That's an unbelievable try from the Raiders. Oh dear me, Barrow may have rewritten the script here. What a strike from Ballman. Third of the season for him. Raiders 18, Hunslet 6.
Great try. What can I say? I was about to say, don't be surprised if you see a shuffle that sees Luke Broadbent go to fullback and Luke Cresswell come to dummy half, because he has played that game and he has done what he's just done. So I don't think it'd be a bad move if they had to. Great try. Like you say, he broke up that right hand edge and had good support in Bullman on his hip. Well, it wasn't on his hip, sorry. It was about a 20-yard pass, which was really good.
Yeah.
He looked on the inside, didn't he? He had Brad Walker and went for his wingman.
Bullman with his third of the season then. Over in that far right-hand corner. Great work from Cresswell. I mean, I don't know if it was a gamble or was it a well-played move to, on the fifth and last, inside your own half.
Well, it's just if the opportunity's there, you know, and he's always looking, he's always scoping, you know, and like you say, the other Josh Wood there was like a dummy half and that, but Luke's always looking for that opening to be able to exploit, you know what I mean? Actually, you know, Josh Wood has actually come off. I don't know when he come off, I've just spotted him
just a few moments ago.
Yeah, so maybe, like you say, it's I think Tom
Wilco's got it
Tom
at 9.
Wilco's got it at 9, yeah.
We were just discussing this just before the try.
Yeah.
So kick off then. Goes deep, bounces around, eventually collected, and the big man Jamie Pye's a massive run from Pye. Have a piece of that, he says, has dropped eventually on the 20. So as promised then, some score updates from the championship. I must say as well, the conversion was missed, so it's just the 1 from 4 so far this afternoon from Brad Walker. 18 points to 6 it is here, as the Raiders lead Hunslet Bradford 4, London 0, Featherstone 10, Doncaster 0. It's Oldham 14, York Knights 0, and Sheffield are 4-0 up against Halifax. In the 1895 Cup, it's Gould 0, Crusaders 10, Keighley 4, Midlands Hurricanes 0, Rochdale 6, Swinton 0, and Birkington 0, Dewsbury 6. That's you up to date on the scorelines. Brad Walker, he's put that one high into the air, higher than some people's energy bills, that one, Graham, and it's bounced around. It's eventually fell to Bowman, but the referee has pulled it back. He's dancing around there, Graham. What's he give that one for?
I think he said he knocked it, or he tried to catch the ball, Jared Stack. So it's a turnover on the fifth and last.
5 minutes to go until half time then. 4 tries for the Raiders so far, one of them successfully converted by Brad Walker, a double for himself this afternoon. And it all came after that 9th minute opening try from Hunslet. Finished from this man, actually Noah Boo, who once again is cut through the space. Cresswell's just missed a tackle there, but there's been some great support from Wilkinson, who's fresh onto the field. Broadbent comes flying out the line, he's left his position there, and it's now across some more space for this Hunslet team.
Another unforced error, just let Barrow off the hook. They had some space on that left edge there.
They were at 6s and 7s a little bit there in the Raiders defence, but
Yeah.
luckily for them, the ball has been lost, so it's going to be a scrum down, head and feed to the Raiders on the 10 metre mark.
No Booth there, sure. Good fleet of foot, didn't he? Nice right foot step there to get on the inside.
Does look like a promising.
Yeah,
step,
Curtis
doesn't he,
Steer.
Booth?
Yeah. He's quick and all when he gets free.
So Raiders now then. Out towards the right side, good strong running once again. From the winger come forward, Andy Bullman. Back in towards Jared Stack now. He's brought down hard on that 30 metre. As Raiders still driving through this time with Ryan Brown. 5 or 6 metres gained in that carry. As Wilkinson gets that ball out to King. Fast hands here from the Raiders, almost creating some space for Ellis Robson, and now the referee has blown the whistle because Ryan King is a heap on the floor. He's stopped the clock now. Not too sure if he's seen something happen or he's just stopped it because he was down on the floor. It could be a late challenge, possibly.
I didn't see him go down. I was looking at the ball he'd offloaded and at the play. I think looking at him, he's been taken late off the ball. At first, I thought he crumpled an ear, something turned his foot awkward or something like that.
Well, the referee is going to pull
a word.
over.
He's having a word. Oh, it's that big lad. I bet it's that big lad there.
Something has happened here. I assume he's just taken out Ryan King.
Or Hanlon.
So the referee's having a word, and he's going to be 10 minutes in the bin. Ethan O'Hanlon then, he's taken Ryan King out. Late in the challenge. Another one bites the dust, comes through on the Tannoys. Gotta love it, haven't you? Gotta love it.
Yeah.
4 minutes to go until half time then. Brad Walker hoofs that one above the stand here. So Raiders now then. 3 minutes left. Can they stick another one on the board before they go into the dressing rooms? He's just a bit flat-footed there. I think the referee was telling him to play on. Curtis Tier waiting for the first whistle. Nevertheless, they get away with it. Play now comes towards Pye. He bashes off 1, 2, 3, 400 defenders, still trying to drag himself forward before he's eventually dropped 30 metres out from that Hunslet line. Wilkinson finds King. Looks fresh now after being taken out off the ball just a few moments ago. Wilkinson finds Bishop. Bishop pops that one up for Jamie Pye. It's a massive presence of a man. There's Jamie Pye, the man that's coming on loan from Salford. 10 metres to go now. It's going to be a drop goal attempt from Walker. Has he got that one through? No. Don't know how he's 10 metres out. Completely unopposed, gone for a drop goal with 2 minutes to go.
I can't figure that one out, to be honest.
I think they were setting up some good shape on that far right side as well.
The thing is, Ryan King,
what a tackle there.
There was a yawning gap outside him, and I just thought somebody was going to, but it never got to him.
Big tackle there from Jared Snack. That's one for the highlight reel. Keeping Hunslet penned back inside their own half. Up towards the 40 now then. 2 minutes to go until half time. Is there any more points left in this first half action? As a highlight player for Hunslet this afternoon, Noah Boob is taken down on the halfway, screaming at the touch judge to win the penalty there. Not given. Liam Welland now then takes this Hunslet team inside the Raiders half. 12 men of Hunslet following up from Ethan O'Hanlon. 10 minutes in the bin. Ball is popped off to Harvey Hallis. The Hunslet number 8, 30 metres out now. And he hasn't got back up to his feet there.
I was just saying, they were saying hit King. So they're obviously picking him out to try and make him work and tire him out, maybe.
With Ryan King.
Yeah.
It's going to be Hunslet going for a drop goal attempt. Still, they're not. I thought they were there. Matty Herrell has gone towards this left corner. Under pressure. He was staring at the post. I could swear he was going to go for a drop goal there, which I thought was even more bizarre than the effort from Brad Walker. Nevertheless, it's been taken down in that far left corner. Big offload almost breaking through that time was Bishop. Quick play the ball. Raiders moving towards this right-hand side now, just picking up the pace in this final minute of the first half. Off the Hunslet markers. Forward pass there, but play continues. Raiders now. Oh, now. That was a very late call there. I was screamed over by the touch judge. He seen it, but the referee never. The players were baffled there because he wanted to know why he said play on. He points over towards his touch judge, who did see the forward pass. So forward, in fact, Graham, he was almost asking for my phone number, that one.
I know, it's one of them, you know, it's like he's had a word in his ear from one of the touch judges. But it'd have been interesting to see if Curtis T would have finished that.
He was almost away, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah.
But yeah, the forward pass was eventually spotted. We've got a Hunslet man down in back play. The scrum is formed. The referee says enough is enough. He's not going to let play continue. He's blown for the half-time hooter. The players going for a well-earned rest here. Opening 40 minutes at Craven Park. It's finished. Well, it's complete. 18. Hunslet 6, a double. From Brad Walker. Quickly converted. 6 minutes later by Ryan King. Going over his second at Sitton. And a fantastic try again in that right-hand corner from Andy Bullman. Making the scoreline 18 points to 6. It took them 10 minutes or so to get going, Graham. They gave Hunslet the opening points of the game, but I think since that moment, they've really stayed on top of it.
Yeah, they've had more possession. They've done more with the possession than Hunslet have. Like you said, I'm sure Paul at that time he'll talk about making sure they're a bit more clinical, make sure they get to the end of the set.
coverage of this championship. Round 1 fixture between Barrow Raiders and Hunslet. After that 9th-minute try from the booth for Hunslet, and ever since then, Hunslet have really struggled to get anywhere close to that Raiders line. And the man alongside me, Graham Dale, I suppose just more of the same, more of what the last 30 minutes of that first half was.
Yeah, they have got the opportunity to control this game for the next 40 minutes. I know rugby's not like that; it swings to's and fro, but they've got to just get out, kick this ball long, really emphasise the defence, and I reckon if they can just get another try or so, it'll see this Hunslet side off.
Kick-off from the Raiders, and it's been bobbled around. It's eventually collected and almost lost from kick-off by Hunslet. They managed to regroup, regather, start this one off their own 10. 18 points to 6 then. What will Hunslet bring in this second half? I mean, for the Hunslet fans that are tuning in, Graham, and listening on, well, for them, what do you think we need to see more of in their team?
Yeah, apologies to anybody from South Leeds, Hunslet, but they're not out of this game by any shadow, and they have got a threat. They just need to make sure that they can just keep hold of that ball, complete their own sets, and just try and be a little bit more clinical in what they're trying to do offensively.
Massive tackle there as Ryan Brown and Jamie Pye teaming up once more. 5th and last now then. Hunslet just off the road halfway with Beharrell, who's kicked that one off. 4 of the chasing pack all offside. Not seen by the officials though, so it's a big tackle made. Raiders are just off their own 20 now then, so they've got plenty of work to do. I mean, it was a good kick chase. They were just a little bit too quick. Oh, they got away with it. Matt Lynn, the man in the middle this afternoon. Raiders now then, up against this strong Hunslet defence. They've started off the second half well, still struggling to make some metres. A better run that time as Raiders up towards the 40. Inside their own half, sweeping this ball out to Jared Stack. The captain's still moving forward, looking to get that arm over the top, and he was trying to find Luke Cresswell there. He's still trying to get up and play this ball on the last. Wilkinson finds Walker. Walker's punted that one low, fizzing. Oh, and he's been knocked on. And the referee has said no to the bewilderment of the Craven Park faithful here as Mackenzie Turner knocked that ball on in front of his own sticks. Well, it appears he knocked it on anyway. Mr. Lynn said no, carry on. So it's as you were, Hunslet then up towards the 40. But again, no, Graham, them fizzing kicks low, bobbling around, causing problems. So Hunslet now gifted Raiders possession back that time. So it's going to be a kick to touch for Brad Walker. Raiders tap and go with Costello then. Gets that ball back out to Walker, who's popped that one off for Ryan Brown. Third meet out now towards Pye. Pye with a late ball there. A little bit sloppy. Trying to keep the play alive over on that left edge. 3 minutes into this second half. It still remains Raiders 18, Hunslet 6. Could have been so much more as well if the kicks were on for Walker this afternoon. 6 potential points missed and a drop goal attempt as well. Raiders now then within 10 metres. Bishop reshapes and shuffles back, tries to turn around, but Kobe Ruggles completes that tackle. Big step back on the inside from Walker. Walker using that strength. Brad Walker looking for that hat-trick, can't quite make the line. Now it's last tackle. Raiders heading towards the whitewash. Can they get over there? Yes, they can. It's try number 5 for the Raiders. 4 minutes into this second half. And that's surely, Graham, at this stage, is as good as getting to the match.
Number 15, Tom Wilkinson.
It was a bit of a shuffle towards the line there, but Tom Wilkinson has managed to find it over his second of the seats, slotted in at that position this afternoon. And just before 5 minutes of half, it's the 5th try of the afternoon for Barrow. It takes them to a 22-6 advantage with a fairly simple conversion attempt to come. Payne will hold down the sheet, and this time it's good. It's good for Brad Walker. It's another important 2 points on the board, and Hunslet have a mammoth task to get back into this one now. With 35 minutes to go, it's Raiders 24. It's Hunslet 6.
Number 6, Brad Walker. So
I'm sure they've got a few more tries in them the way they're playing at the moment, this Raiders team. Well, they were taken away after a midweek training video session with a lot of homework and a lot of things to work on. And it looks like they are putting them pieces of the jigsaw puzzle into place. As battered and bruised as this team is, Walker was attacking that line there on the last. He did get hold of him in the tackle. He managed to get an out the back pass away to Costello, who's punted that one down towards the 20-metre mark, collected by the green Hunslet shirts up towards the 13. Now a few tackles in on the 40-metre mark. 7 minutes played of this second half. It's Raiders 24, Hunslet 6 in this championship opener. The 2025 campaign. I think the floodlights need to come on soon, Graham, because that sunshine has just dipped. Temperature's dropped. Yeah, hands are in the pockets time now. There's drop of the shoulder there, almost bursting through the Raiders line. It's now 5th and last. Hunslet 25 out. The man there is struggling to get back up to his feet and play that one. It does eventually get played to Beherrell, who's kicked that one up high towards the corner. Bullman's shaping himself well to get under this one and just fell backwards as he caught that one. I think he had one eye on the strike line there as he caught that ball, albeit 90 metres away. Yeah, Paul Crairy's a stickler for his defence, isn't he? And after conceding all them points last week, it's definitely something he wants to work on as Costello now. Then he's struggling to get up and play this ball. He stood still with his hands on his hips there, is the former Salford man. Cresswell's done well to dip the shoulder and find some space on the outside. Raiders can't quite get through though. It's a great run before the tackle was eventually made on the Hunslet 40. So just under 40 to go now for the Raiders. Bishop gets that one out the back to Walker. Walker to Stack. Stack cuts back on the inside, found the space. He's got support from Costello. Costello's back on the... You may want to take a seat because the Raiders are on fire. It's now Barrow 28, Hunslet 6. First try of the day for Cresswell on his 100th appearance. Quite fitting, I think, Graham. Sixth try of the afternoon for the Raiders. A very well worked try, which started on that far left-hand side with Broadbent. It was breaking through.
It was nice to see there as well that that ball from the right towards the Duke Street. Jared Stack ran into space, you know, open the ball. Quite often it's not too
Simple conversion from Walker. He's 2 from 2 in the second half. Raiders 30, Hunslet 6. 24 points the difference with exactly 30 minutes to go on the clock. And this Hunslet team cannot get a hold of this Raiders attack at the moment. It just seems like it's a try a set in the opening 10 minutes, Graham. I want to give some credit as well to a little bit of an unsung hero today in Tom Wilkinson. That's come on. It's almost been a bit of a shooting towards that number 9 position there, giving Josh Wood a rest, and he's done really well. Costello slowly back up to his feet once again in a tackle there. I think something's quite right with the Raiders centre at the moment. Jared Stack's also got something wrong with his eye. I'm not too sure if he's cut himself. He's taking a look at it in back play, but Raiders now then, moving down that left-hand side. Bobbling ball once again, knocked on, and them kicks have been causing havoc on this surface all afternoon for this Hunslet defence. That time they bobbled the ball on their own 10. The Raiders could be going. I see a little sense of pride, Graham, every time you see them kicks come through, because you've been calling for it for, I think, years, more than weeks and months. It's a sloppy start, though. That ball's bobbling around. It's come off a Hunslet shirt, and Pullman has almost forced the Hunslet man to touch that ball. It was going to go dead. All eyes on the officials here. I think the Hunslet too high. I think they're going to award this to the Raiders, aren't they? No? I don't quite know. Yes? No? Where's the ball? What's he doing? Right. It is going to be a Barrow ball once we get the ball on the field. So it was, again, a look on the Raiders team. Raiders side, shall I say. A sloppy pass. They've got away with it. Raiders now then, with Walker, searching for that hat-trick. Edging closer, is strong, isn't he, is Brad Walker. Raiders looking for try number 7. Find himself less than 10 metres away out the back to Brad Walker, who steps once again, looking back towards the inside. Heading towards the right-hand corner now, where he's eventually dropped again just shy that 10-metre mark. Wilkinson out to kick. Raiders heading towards the line. It's a big tackle that time. Massive tackle, in fact. Now it's fifth and last Raiders still find themselves just a metre or so away, looking for anything on that left edge. He can't get the ball away, to the dismay of Alex Mitchell. He's not happy with that one. He was waiting for the pass to come across, but I think Wilkinson just had eyes on that try line himself.
Yeah.
So Hunslet now then, using the forwards, driving through, right down the middle of the park. Raiders 30, Hunslet 6. Listening live on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport via the app and the website. It's a big deep kick downfield taken well by Cresswell, who had to regain his balance and then takes a shot around the chops there. Shrugged away from it, but you won't get a reaction. Tom Walker comes back onto the field, but Jamie Pye comes off for a rest now. Josh Wood looks to be going to get warmed up. I don't think they'll risk him if they don't need to. Tom Wilkinson's been doing a fine job. Yeah, he's looking to come back on. He's desperate to play, is Josh Wood. Tom Walker then takes Raiders up towards the halfway. 24 minutes left to go here. There's Ryan King. Gets that ball out towards his right-hand side. Wilkinson once again looking towards his options. He's going down the short side with Jared Stack. With his strike play on this right-hand edge. Costello, Bowman in support. Stacks up, finds Wilkinson, finds Walker. Walker finds Bishop. Cresswell out the back. Raiders playing it towards this left side once more. Almost breaking through. They can't break through. Just need to cut back on the inside. The touch junkie flag goes up. Raiders find touch. About 7 or 8 metres shy of the line. You can see the intent though this week from this Raiders team.
Everything's been at pace, and the attacks have gone at pace. You know, they haven't been slow play. The defence on the front foot, all afternoon.
Hunslet now then. In possession. Graham's just going to try and find his microphone here. I will take you through this ball-by-ball commentary. Do not lose my expensive microphones, Dale. Oh, it's fell way down there. You'll have to pick it up. The listeners want to listen to you, Graham. That's what it is. You're a popular man. You're in demand. I've got no summariser. You're muted. If I could, I'd love to video this. Graham Dale is getting down and dirty through the terraces, trying to find his microphone that's fell off because he was going through the important stuff of trying to fix his flask. Nevertheless, on the pitch here, it's going to be a scrum down, header feed to Hunslet. Ball goes into the scrum. I've got to say thank you as well to Eric and Steve, who are clearly listening, and they can only hear me. The ball has come loose in the tackle. Referee waves play on. It's going to be Luke Cresswell that picks up the possession. And again, credit's got to go to the Raiders' defence. And when you've got the likes of Walker and Ryan King pummel him into you at the halfway line, you've got to really be strong in the carry. That time they were not. Raiders get possession back. Bowman plays that ball out. It is back out to Ryan Brown this time. Another man who's done well since coming onto the pitch. And back in action now with Graham.
Yes, I think we're working all right.
There we go then. Raiders over towards the left-hand side, taken well by Cresswell. Cuts that one. And then the referee has blown the whistle for obstruction.
Oh, he's shepherded he's saying that he's used one of his own players as a shepherd, like offside.
So penalty awarded to Hunslet, as Broadbent was just trying to cut back on the inside. It's a deep kick as well. So Hunslet now then starting off this 40-metre mark, and they've got work to do. 24 points they trail by. It's Raiders 30, it's Hunslet 6, 20, just over 20 minutes to go on the clock here. And it's Hunslet on the Raiders 30-metre mark now then. Going down the middle once again. Good carry that time. Dropped 10 metres away from the line. Will this be the Hunslet fight back, or will it be a consolation if they can go over here? It's for a little bit too far backwards, and Raiders are flying out the line there with Robson.
Yeah, good pressure on the defence again. Just struggling a little bit. Hunslet to just make that go forward. You know, they're moving the ball from left to right, but they're going through phases, but they're not really.
Oh, that's a terrible.
No, they're not drawing people out of position.
Hunslet were trying to continue throwing the ball out the back while they were putting tackle team. The referee has said no, bring the ball back. So Raiders did gather the ball up, and now the referee has awarded a penalty for the Raiders ripping out.
Yeah,
which is
a hand in.
A bit of a call from
spun off a tackle there.
Desperate to look through Ethan Wood. It was that time, is so close, and now Raiders have got defensive work to do, and Hunslet have gone over. They've got in for their second of the afternoon, just to the left of the post, and head coach Paul Crary will hit them.
They're annoying them. They're just, you know, fair play to Hunslet. You know, they're all worth 4 points, but you know they're cheap try to give away. You know, he went on his own from dummy half, and somebody come out, spun off the tackle, and it's just created that little bit of a space mismatch in the defence.
So it's going to be a conversion attempt then from Herald, who's as near as damn it in between the sticks. It's going to be a simple one for him. It's another 2 on the ball. The start line now, it's Raiders 30. Actually, the try scorer was so great, wasn't being made by the announcer even. And it's always hard to tell from that position when there's about 10 players jump over a line. But I don't think they'll really care who scored it at the moment, as long as they're putting themselves back into the game. 18 points the difference, with 18 minutes on the door. The referee has stopped the clock. There's a bit more pressure in that ball. Not happy. So Brad Walker gets his new ball please. Nick Costello comes off the field there. Chain total goes back on. He's going to go in that centre position alongside Bullman. Walker now then puts that one up high. That's a teasing ball that time. Walker gets under it, gets his boot to ball, bats it backwards. The referee takes a look and has claimed it to be a knock-on. Well, it was Ryan Brown that regathered possession, and he is furious with Matthew Lynn, because it's going to be Hunslet that gets the scrum down now. To me, Graham, from my position, it looked like almost like a back heel kick there from Tom Walker.
Yeah, I think it was the guy that jumped on the ball after that knocked it on.
Ryan Brown then seems to have knocked that ball on. Josh Wood looks to come back onto the field shortly. 18 minutes left, 18 points of difference. Raiders 30, Hunslet 12. Hunslet back on the attack. It's shot put in that time from Tom Walker. The ball loose once again. In the tackle. Control. Hasn't dropped it. Play on. And they do just that. Still inside their own half though. Hand round the throat of Ryan King there as he's tackled. Quick play the ball, and Hunslet now then playing with a little bit more enthusiasm that they could have done with over the last hour.
Well, they've just got that little bit of momentum from the try, haven't they? So they're going to have that.
The ball has come loose. It's been picked up by a Raiders shirt. It looks
getting
to
a
be
little
a
bit scrappy, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it's I think he's
against the Raiders again.
Yeah, I think as he tried to kick that ball through, it's Raiders bobbling around. I've gone to pick the ball up. From my position, it looked like a knock on. I think the referee said the same thing, so it's going to be another scrum down.
Yeah, I think it's just been regathered cleanly. I think that's what the problem is.
Josh Wood still waiting to come onto the field then. So 16 to go. Raiders 30. Hunslet 12. Hunslet within 30 metres of this Barrow line. The Herald runs towards that line, takes a step back onto the inside and plays that ball out towards the right where the tackle is eventually made. Hunslet now then, trying to set up on this right edge. They've got no numbers in support though for Ethan Wood. He's been taken down 15 metres out, and once again the referee has blown his whistle, this time for a high tackle against the Raiders. That's 3 quick penalties conceded.
They've just got to keep the heads now, Raiders, and keep some discipline. Otherwise, you know, it's just going to spur them on even more, Hunslet. And whereby they might not have the required points to come back and win the game. You know, it's just going to put another look to the game.
10 metres out now then. Hunslet attacking just by the posts. Find themselves within 10. Opting to go towards the right hand side this time, putting back in towards the middle is Hannigan. He's still not tackle completed. Hunslet still find themselves just a few metres away. The ball now, big charging run that time for Bobby Ruggles. He stopped again, metres shy. It's a slot play. The ball referee says it was back to play on. Hunslet still through, doing everything they can here. It's for last. Back in towards the middle, almost intercepted again. The ball's been batted backwards. They're now up towards their own 20. Kicks it through, straight into the hands of a Raiders shirt though.
For a split second there, Dan, I thought he was going to kick it. That'd be the Raiders player.
Shane Toll then. Yeah, Ryan Brown it was that intercepted the pass.
He just looked like he looked and seen there's nobody home and hoist the ball because he had Shane Toll and co around him. He probably would have got there. But if it didn't come off, he'd have probably had a serious talking to on Tuesday night.
Shane Toll now then. Back into the action as Josh Wood is now onto the field. Gets that ball out towards Tom Walker. Another man who's putting a big shift this afternoon as they come in and prop forward. Different lads now, that Raiders 30 out to get that ball to Bishop. Bishop throws that one along the ground. It's been a fine touch. Kenzie Turner couldn't believe that one. So it's going to be a restart round about the 15 metre mark for this Hunslet team. We'll get them to find themselves with a lot of work to do.
This job's not over yet. The Raiders need to finish good, finish well, because they're going to be away next week. So they need to make sure that they get good habits. That's great defence.
Minutes left to go. Trying to spread that ball out and they've lost possession. Raiders regather 40 metres off the line.
It's head tap. Yeah, they're just slowly starting to get the ascendancy again, aren't they? They're just keeping the ball off. That's the critical factor here. Keep the ball off Hunslet, and you can see from Hunslet's point of view where they're going to maybe struggle this year. It's going to be retaining possession, isn't it? On today's showing.
Yeah. Raiders now then within 20 of the Hunslet line. Oh, Ryan Brown's not happy with that. Obviously, the ball comes out to Cresswell. Cresswell is dropped 10 metres away. Raiders still searching for that 7th try of the afternoon. Big run here from Tom Walker. Can he get that ball down? No, he can't. Not quite yet anyway. Still got a few tackles to go out the back to Brad Walker. Raiders trying to find some space. Bowman cuts back onto the inside. Bowman! Somebody call the fire brigade because the Raiders are on fire. It's now Barrow 34. It's Hunslet 12. That will be 2 points in the bag for Raiders.
Yeah, I think that's just enough to just kill them off there. Again, another good passage of play there. Ryan King, as he's done all afternoon, he's took that ball at first receiver into the hard position. He's drawn defenders onto him. He's offloaded, created that near chance there for Tom Wilkinson. Not quite got over. Brad Walker again had another great game. He's come and he's looked for the pass and he's created the space out wide.
He's got a mean step, hasn't he? He's been using all afternoon as Brad Walker. He's really been involved in most of the plays this afternoon.
He's used it well though. As, you know, he's brought players in, he's brought players onto him, and then he's let the ball go. He's brought players onto him, dummied, gone in for tries. You know what I mean? And you can't ask any more from that.
Then goes in his second of the afternoon. That takes him to 4 now for the season in the Challenge Cup and Championship opener this afternoon as Ryan Brown now comes off. Well-earned applause. Gittins Bedward goes back onto the field for the final 10 minutes of this one. Still waiting for this conversion attempt from Brad Walker. Starts it right, it sweeps towards the left, it keeps it low and it's gone through. He's done well in the windy conditions there.
Excellent.
Almost looked at first like a bit of a miss-hit, but no, he's swerved it round Ronaldo style. It's now 36, it's Hunslet 12. That margin, 10 minutes to go, Graham.
Number 6, Brad Walker.
I've got 2 people in the running. One's just kicked that goal, won that conversion, and the other one's playing at loose forward.
Big run there, coming fast on the ball was Tom Walker, but credit to the Hunslet defence, he's still going backwards. He needs some support from his Raiders teammates. They didn't quite get it, so Raiders setting up some shape now. Just off their own 20-metre mark as the ball stepping back on the inside is Bedward. Raiders, Curtis Tia in possession up towards the 30. Sure, he'd love to get on the score sheet this afternoon. Ryan King then, who scored that spectacular try in the first half, drags 3, comes at it with him, finds a basketball-esque offload out the back to Gittins Bedward, who drives forward inside the Hunslet half of the field as Josh Wood now gets that ball out to Jarvis Stack, and Jarvis bounces off them. He's got support from Bowman. It was the pass was just a little bit too low from the Raiders captain. Bowman couldn't take possession. Hunslet regathered that loose ball, throw it back in towards centre field as Raiders were trying to force Hunslet into touch. Billy Jowett, and now the referee has blown a whistle. He's going to pull this one for ripping out. That's killed that momentum off.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate that, because he had Luke Cresswell steaming on the inside as well. And if you're right-handed, a right to left pass is easier to put on than a left. A right to left, than a left to right.
And it was just that one pass from Jared Stack. He had support both sides as well. Bowman was wide open. He would have got him for the hat-trick. But the pass was just a little bit low to catch while he was running at pace. So it's, nevertheless, Hunslet back in possession then and already find themselves 30 metres away from this Raiders line. But with just 8 minutes to go on the clock, you would imagine there is no way back now for the Championship new boys this season.
No disrespect to Hunslet, but you know, when you say created tries, they've had an interception and a plunge over, you know, so they haven't got that penetrative, threat out wide.
It's a poor pass there.
On today's performance.
Hunslet have lost about 10 metres in that one.
I bet they've only completed 40-50% of the sets.
Yeah, it'd be a low completion rate for the visitors this afternoon as Beherald now then finds some options. Got that ball out towards the right.
Nice ball.
Almost found a way through there, but the Raider defence hold up strong. It's 5th and last. Hunslet back in towards Beherald, who's going to dink that one over the top. There's only 2 men under it though. Shane Toll is going to almost get away from them two as well. He's eventually tackled. Fingertip stuff there. And the Raiders centre could have been through Andy Bullman then, searching for that hat-trick. Great run from the Raiders winger. Almost 10 metres gained after the contact. Luke Cresswell on his 150th appearance. Keeps that play alive as Jared Stack. Almost got a finger in the mouth at that tackle.
Yeah.
Josh Wood then going down the short side to Shane Toll. Shane Toll moves Raiders closer to the halfway mark. 6 minutes left. Raiders 36. Hunslet 12. Josh Wood attacking the line. Another good run from Raiders hooker. 40 metres out. His last tackle. Going down the short side to Brad Walker, who's kicked that one deep towards the corner. Jimmy Watson, the fullback, is going to watch that bobble around. He has to take possession. It's a greatly weighted kick there from Walker. He's also managed to complete the tackle.
Let's see, you put him under pressure here now, Dan. Get flying into bodies. Greg Eden.
Oh, it's a dangerous ball over towards the far right-hand side, but the Raiders had it covered with Luke Broadbent. No way through for this Hunslet attack.
Is that the Greg Eden that's put for Castleford? I'm going to say yes.
We'll go with it.
Anybody from the Hunslet area, feel free to let us know.
We're professionals, it's just this said professional had work to do yesterday. So my homework hasn't been too great this week. Hunslet towards the 40 metre mark, now towards the halfway. The ball has been charged down by Broadbent, who's intercepted the ball. Play continues. With Raiders in possession. Final 5 minutes then, as Jared Stack now comes off at Tom Wilkinson. Just shows the versatility of him being now slopped in to, I imagine, second row. Maybe loose forward. Ryan Kingsley looks to be shifting over towards this side. A little bit of a reshuffle then in the pack for the Raiders to finish this last 5 minutes of the match here. 36 points to 12 lead. They find themselves 25 out from the line. Delane Gittins Bedwood then takes 400 defenders to stop his run. 15 to go. Still got a few tackles remaining as well. Josh Wood back on towards the inside, and Tom Wilkinson it is. Back towards middle.
That's good to see the big lads in the middle just switching the point of attack between themselves.
Walker dinks that one through. Who's going to get down to that one? Ryan King stretching towards it, but there was just a little bit too much on that kick. Just going to see it go dead.
20 metre restart. Again, another opportunity to just number up and bully them in defence.
So the final 4 minutes of the game then, Graham, we're going to come to you for your player of the match this afternoon.
Well, I've got two guys in the line there. One's Ryan King and one's Brad Walker. That last kick he made there, just shoved it in his favour. He scored 2 nice tries. He's distributed the ball well, you know, and I'm sure it's a good confidence booster for him. So my player of the match is Brad Walker.
I'm glad you said that, because if you never, I was going to. Yeah, he's putting a real performance this afternoon. That's taking nothing away from some of the other performances as well, though. There has been some standout ones, but yeah, Brad Walker has done pretty well this afternoon. Alex Bishop's been awarded the sponsors player of the match. Another player.
Yeah, he's been busy. He's been tough and physical as well. And do you know what? He'll bounce off Josh Wood really well, because Josh likes to put a hit in, and what I've seen this afternoon, Alex Bishop definitely likes to get in amongst it, and it'll just stiffen that middle up really well.
It's become bitterly cold here at the ground.
That's it. I just thought I was shivering because there was something wrong with me.
That temperature has just dropped about 5 degrees in the last 10 minutes. Hunslet for a little dink over the top, but it's the smallest man on the field. Josh Wood that manages to take that one in the air. He's done well as a Raiders hooker. Final 3 minutes of the game, then Raiders in possession with Bullman. Bullman steaming up towards halfway, and now
Hunslet offside as well.
All offside that time.
Quick play of the ball, took it to him. See, draws the attention to it. If it had been slow lane and play the ball, it wouldn't have happened. They're playing the game at pace.
Almost full time in the other championship games then. Bradford 20, London 6, Featherstone 22-0 at home to Doncaster. Sheffield, tight one there, Sheffield 14, Halifax 12. And to give you an idea of how this Oldham team are going to be in the championship season this year, Oldham 44, York night 4. I'm telling you, they're an outside bet for the title from what we've seen last week. In the 1895 Cup, Gould 18, Crusaders 18. Keithley with a drop goal finish. 7 points to 6. They win that one. Rochdale 18, Twinton 16, and Workington 10, Dewsbury 12. Just rushing through them now because Raiders find themselves within 20 metres and now a little bit of dissent, it seems, from the Hunslet defence.
Yep. Just settle it down, bang it over for 2 right in front of the sticks.
Boo from the Raiders crowd as Brad Walker goes for the 2 from the post.
It's a clever decision that, because there's 2 minutes left on the clock, 1 minute left even. I'm sure it'll be 20 or 30 seconds by the time he kicks it. You know, there's no reason anybody to risk getting an injury at this point. It's not like you're going to score a try, you know, probably not. And even if you did, it doesn't really affect the decision much, does it? Or the game.
Raiders 36 and Hunslet 12. It's going to be a simple 2-point penalty, you'd imagine, here for Brad Walker. 1,604 in attendance here this afternoon, with millions listening worldwide, Graham. Millions. All over the world. Millions.
All over the world.
They love it. Can't get enough of it. Brad Walker now then to add another 2, and he's done just that. Raiders 38, Hunslet 12. Final minutes of the match left to play. I never asked you for a score prediction either, Graham. I bet you're going to say something like this, were you?
Well, no. Well, I thought it was going to be a close game, but as ever, if the players get into it in the first half hour, and they get some success. You know, they have got. Historically, this is the sort of result that has happened against Hunslet, haven't they? They've won by 20 points, 30 points. But I wouldn't have disrespected them by predicting that at the start of the game, because it's just 2 new teams, first game of the season. Let's see how it goes. And the Raiders have done well.
A rare error there from the Raiders out the back from kick-off. So it's going to be a scrum down, head and feed to Hunslet in this final minute. The ball goes in, it stays in, eventually it comes out. Tactical stuff there from Hunslet, who are looking for nothing more than a consolation try now. There goes the full-time hooter. The referee said that is enough, and it's going to be an opening day victory for the Raiders. Raiders making 6 victories in their last 7 against this Hunslet team. And the doubters said that Barrow wouldn't turn up. Well, they've certainly RSVP to this one.
Well, that's right, yeah. I like what you did there. Like you say, you know, these players, coaching staff, if things don't go their way, you know, the criminals almost, you know what I mean? But when it does go their way, let's hope they get the respect that they're due. Like you say, he's prepared his players all week, and they've quite clearly come into this game today understanding there's a need for more urgency, for more appetite for what's in front of them, and good attitude. That was the word that Paul used in his interview that I picked up on. Attitude from the last week, and they've showed that in abundance today. They've all. The question you were asked to look at players and see if any of them have done anything. I wasn't privy to that conversation, but I'm going to say yes, they have, and one of them maybe got man of the match.
Yeah,
I was somewhere right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think he's a good player. He's got good skills. You know, that's what we want to see out of him every week. Yeah, definitely. Well played.
Certain players to step up. One of them players that did step up this afternoon was Brad Walker. But it's a collective effort from the Raiders. He doesn't like to call them target games as a head coach, Paul Crary, but I think from the supporter side of things, this was definitely a target fixture. A team that are expected to be in a relegation with battle with the Raiders come the end of the season were pretty much outshone this afternoon. I think the Raiders could have got more on the board. It could have been closer to 50 if Brad Walker turned up with his kicking boots today, which I think just shows, again, no disrespect to Hunslet, but I think that shows the levels the Raiders can reach. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is as well, Paul was talking about before the game that they're busted and they've got injuries, etc. Players playing on injuries. You know, when they get these players back, what I've seen there today is effort and commitment and attitude. You know, that has got to be the minimum requirement. And if they do that, I'm convinced they can finish halfway up this league. Anything else from that, they're too good a side, they're too good a squad, in my opinion, to be languishing like second and third from bottom. You know what I mean? They need to be mid, you know, below to mid, and then let's see where we get after that in the second half of the season.
Well, we'll have some interesting comments with Paul Crary soon. You can listen to all them ones on the BBC Radio Cumbria social media platforms, all across the platforms as well. Probably be able tonight, maybe into tomorrow. But it's a bit of a dominant victory this afternoon for the Raiders. 4 tries in the first half, a double from Walker, a spectacular 50-yard solo effort from Payne, followed 8 minutes before the half-time hooter from Bullman to give them an 18 points advantage at half-time. They came out all guns blazing. It took just 4 minutes of the second half for Wilkinson to go over to make the scoreline 24 points to 6. Cresswell then went in on his 150th Barrow Raiders appearance. Slight delay in the comeback. It took him an hour to get back on the score sheet for Hunslet to bring the scoreline back up to 30 points to 12, but it just wasn't enough. Bullman went over just 5 minutes later to get the scoreline 36 points to 12, and a 2-point penalty just before the hooter from player of the match, BBC's player of the match, Brad Walker, bring the scoreline to 38 points to 12. Halifax next week, Graham. Totally different challenge.
Well, it will be, and like you say, the threat that the most of these championship teams have got on the edges, they've got big, quick, experienced players, and it's that ball getting to them edges, and they build on it. They also they complete quite high on a week by week basis. I'm not talking about every one of them. I'm talking about the ones that end up mid to top. You know what I mean? That's the key difference. It's only a subtle thing, but it's completion of sets, and it's taking opportunities. If Barrow have had, I don't know how many opportunities they've had today, but let's say they've had 10. You know, today they've scored 7 of them. Do you know what I mean? In that way of thinking, and that's what the likes of Halifax and Batley, well, maybe not Batley last year, but you know, Sheffield, etc. You know, that's what they do. They complete high all the time, and they're ruthless, and they're dogged, and they don't let you off the hook. They're horrible, is a word. You know, defensively, they don't slacken up on you. They're in your face. They're sledging. You know what I mean? And this is what the Raiders have to attain and get to. And I'm saying they can. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's hope that they go and get a result.
Big thank you once again, Graham, for joining me on commentary. It's been a pleasure. It's nice to see an opening day victory for the Raiders.
It is.
Seems like it's been a while. Well, there's some said that Barrow might struggle. How's that for an answer? Until next time, stay classy, Cumbria.
I was going to say, it's nice to see the Seagulls are back. They flocked here.